Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Time to check on a couple of more momentum stock picks with our momentum stock strategist from Zacks.com, Mike Vodicka. Mike stops by here periodically, gives us some ideas as far as what stocks have the updraft associated with them. And here's one that's, you still see about this on television all the time as far as the company is concerned anyway. They do a lot of marketing. Priceline.com, PCLN, the ticker symbol, online travel company.
Yeah, it's a name that most of our viewers are probably familiar with, but this company has had an unbelievable run over the last couple of months. We've actually seen their share price double just since the beginning of July.
Wow.
Going from $175 to right now it's trading above $350.
Why?
Well, that's what we're going to get into.
Good.
What we've seen in some really
I asked the question.
We've seen some really nice sales production from the company. Their second quarter results, sales are up 27% year over year to $767 million. Earnings surprise came in 14% ahead of the Zacks consensus estimate, and they've beaten each quarter for the last 4 quarters, so they've been producing consistent earnings. The company's had a really nice mix of domestic and international business. Their international sales were up 63% year over year to $322 million. So that represents a significant portion of their revenue, which is something that's good. And then as far as specific drivers, is the company said that the hotel bookings were really strong over the last quarter, which kind of came as a surprise to me in the weak consumer environment.
I didn't have any idea that domestic travel was up that high.
Me neither, but that's what we're finding out right now. Surprisingly, that the hotels right now are doing pretty well. They've got some incentives, and there's been a little bit more demand than we expected. So that's what's driving Priceline's quarter.
All right.
We did see some movement in estimates off the nice quarter. The current year estimate added $1.25. It's now at $11.46, and then the next year estimate added $1.90, and that outstands at $14.26. That's a 24% growth projection, so that's pretty bullish.
Okay.
Moving on to the valuation picture, it's not exactly a value stock, it's a momentum stock, so it is trading at 31 times forward earnings. That's a premium to the industry and its peers, but you have to calculate the fact that they are expecting 24% growth into the valuation picture.
All right.
And then getting back to the chart, what we talked about before is we saw shares of Priceline just dart higher in early July, starting at about $1.75.
I can see that.
And then we recently topped off above $356, so it's more than doubled in the last 4 months. That's a great momentum stock.
Cool. And then another company who I've heard of, but I don't know how many others might have, BIDU, I guess it's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
BIDU, the ticker symbol. Now, this is an internet search company that's based in China.
That's right. Some people actually call this the Chinese Google. I'm not sure if that's a fair comparison, but the company is doing really well, and they are growing quickly right now. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, that's why you're here to talk about them.
Yes, I am. The company's only been around for 10 years. They were incorporated in 2000, and they already have a market cap of $35 billion, so it's been a heck of a grower.
Not bad.
The second quarter results from late July, we saw big gains in revenue. Revenue up 74% year over year, which is just an unbelievable number. Earnings surprise of 14%, that's also solid. And then over the last 4 quarters, average earnings surprise of 17%, so they've been consistent for the last year. Getting into some key metrics that the search engine companies use to evaluate their business. One of them is traffic acquisition costs. Their traffic acquisition costs were actually down 10% year over year, so they're focusing on their expense profile in addition to growing their revenue, which is something we look for. And then the money that they spent on bandwidth, because this is a bandwidth-intensive business, sending lots of data across the wire. Bandwidth costs dipped to 3.5% of revenue from 4.6% last year. So that's something we look for as a company, that they're controlling their expenses and growing their top line. That's a powerful combination for earnings, no doubt. Balance sheet looks incredible. Their cash position is up $182 million from last year to $610 million, and they have no debt on the books, so the balance sheet looks great. And then last piece of the puzzle here, we're going to talk about the chart. And again, kind of like Priceline, we've seen some really big gains in BIDU. They started the year at about $41, and then they recently topped off above $103, so it's more than doubled just in the last 10 months.
All right. Do you own either of these two?
No, I don't.
If you want to check out more Zacks Rank Buy stock pick ideas, you hear me say it all the time, go to our homepage, Zacks.com, because that's where we put 4 new stock pick ideas up for you daily, one in each of the investing categories that we write about on Zacks.com, Mike's, the momentum category, included. With Mike Vodicka, I'm Terry Ruffalo.